Good morning and good afternoon to our viewers from around the globe. Thank you for joining our webinar today. And sorry for the long wait because of our technical issue. I'm your moderator, Vera, the senior editor with SolarBee Global. We're happy to have all of you here today. If you still don't know much about us, here's a brief introduction. We are a global media platform focusing on solar PV news, technology progress, and also market trends in the solar sector. But before we get started, I have a piece of good news to share with you. We're happy to have launched our new website this month to provide faster and better user experience for our readers. We'd like to use this occasion to thank all our readers and viewers for your continued support. In today's webinar, we are going to focus on an important solar market, Turkey. Turkey is one of the fastest growing energy markets in the world, and its total energy demand has been increasing rapidly. The country's installed solar power capacity, which stood at 7.82 gigawatts in 2021, is expected to increase to 30 gigawatts by 2030, according to Solar Power Europe's report. The period from 2022 onward carries even greater importance, as the country has ratified the Paris Agreement in October last year and committed to reduce its emission increase by 21% by 2030. The potential for solar in this beautiful country is huge. So how to explore this potential and what are the challenges ahead? Today, we have invited Mr. Selen İnal, Business Development Manager of TurSEFF at Stantec Turkey, and also Professor Nawaz Kawati, Managing Director and Founder of Solar Energy Systems Company, to discuss the potential and business environment for solar companies in Turkey. Before we get started, I'd like to invite you, our viewers, to feel free to leave your comments and questions in the chat area on the right side of your screen. We hope everybody can get involved in the discussions. All right, so first of all, I'd like to invite Ms. Selen İnal, Business Development Manager of Turkey's Sustainable Energy Financing Facility at Stantec Turkey. She has 20 years of experience in energy business, including power plant investments, electricity trading, electricity market, engineering and design, investor relations, and project finance. She consulted foreign major renewable energy companies and also international financial institutions. But unfortunately, Ms. Selen İnal won't be joining us live today, so she sent us a recording of her presentation. Her speech will focus on how the country is shifting rapidly to solar power as a leading panel producer. That's quite an interesting topic, and I'm sure many of your viewers will be interested to find out more. So here it is.
Hi everybody, and welcome. Thanks for attending. This is Selen İnal. I have 20 years of experience in energy business, including power plant investments, electricity trading, electricity markets, engineering and design, investor relations, and project finance, approaching project from technical, financial, legal, and commercial point of views. Currently, I work at Stantec Turkey. Today, I will provide an overview of Turkey's solar market and PV panel manufacturing. Let me open my presentation and let us start with explaining the status and dynamics of Turkish solar market. Okay, I think you may see my presentation now. Yes. I divided my presentation into two parts. In the first part, I will provide a general overview of the Turkish solar market. And in the second part, I will tell you more specifically about the PV panel production in Turkey. The total installed capacity in Turkey is around 102 gigawatts, and based on July 2022 data of TEİAŞ, which is Turkey's electricity transmission company, 8.7 gigawatts of this is solar power, and this corresponds to 8.5% of the total installed capacity. When we look at the energy mix of Turkey, 53.8% of the installed capacity is from renewables, with a majority of hydro with 31% and followed by wind of approximately 11%. Here we may say that although solar market has grown rapidly in the last 5 to 10 years in Turkey, only a small portion of potential solar investments were actualized, and there is a great untapped potential in the market considering Turkey's surface area and irradiation values. Here in those graphics, you may see Turkey's non-hydro renewable energy and solar growth by years. The installed capacity of solar energy has grown beyond expectations, causing the targets set each time to be updated. Solar power is a resource that may be applicable to a wide range of installations from small to large by its very nature and provides cheap electricity at the current point it has arrived in today. Considering Turkey's solar potential, it's certain that the market's rapid growth will continue accelerating. Of course, the speed will depend on regulation stability and flexibility for new business models in the markets. If we compare the renewable and solar electricity generation of Turkey with Europe and globally, for renewable energy generation, Turkey ranks 11th globally and 4th in Europe. For solar energy generation, Turkey ranks 13th globally and 5th in Europe. The solar market is very dynamic in Turkey, and the regulations have been developing rapidly in the last 1 to 2 years for this reason. I'd like to present you very summarized current information on the regulatory framework. Basically, there are 2 laws covering renewable energy. 6,446 Electricity Market Law and 5,346 Law on Utilization of Renewable Energy Resources for the purpose of generating electrical energy. Under Renewable Energy Resources Law, there is YEKDEM regulation for feed-in tariffs, and there is also local content regulation. Under Electricity Market Law, we have regulations for 3 different investment models: license regulation, unlicensed regulation, and YEKA regulation. 3 investments models are presented, however, currently 2 of them are active in practice, considering solar investments, of course. The first one is unlicensed. Although the small-scale solar market started as SPVs, special purpose vehicles, and the electricity was sold to the grid with YEKDEM prices, the regulation was changed to, converted to, I would say, self-consumption. Current unlicensed model does not aim for commercial profit from the sale of electricity, but benefits the institutions themselves by ensuring that the cost of electricity is fixed and predictable in the medium and long term by generating solar electricity. It's for consumers becoming prosumers. The installed capacity is limited by electricity consumption of the consumer, and since August 2022, it's a very recent development, production and consumption may be given in different distribution regions. It can be installed in areas not limited to the roof and facade only. There is monthly settlement of production and consumption. The second one, YEKA model, is for bigger scale solar plants to sell electricity to the grid. The installed power is specified by the ministry in each YEKA tender announcement. The areas are determined by the ministry, or the connection areas are announced. The lowest bidder price wins the tender, and local content is mandatory. In the current Turkish solar markets, YEKDEM has lost its importance because in self-consumption is basically based on your consumption prices, and for YEKA there is a tender. Still, I'd like to provide you some basic information regarding old and new YEKDEM. In old YEKDEM before July 2021, for solar there was 13.3 USD cents per kilowatt hour feed-in tariff for 10 years period. and from 0.4 to 5.6 USD cent per kilowatt hour local content support for 5 years. In the new YEKDEM after July 2021, it changed. For solar, there is 32 kurush, which is Turkish lira per kilowatt hour within tariff for 10 years. Since it's in Turkish lira, the price will be updated quarterly with respect to producer and consumer price index and the rate of exchange for dollars per Turkish lira and euro per Turkish lira. There is also 8 kurush per kilowatt hour local content support for 5 years. Let's continue with the PV panel manufacturing, the second part. As Stantec in 2020, we published a market report for Turkey's photovoltaic panel manufacturing, and I will share with you some information from that report, and of course, adding some update information from the sector. In this report, 22 PV panel manufacturer companies in Turkey were contacted, and a questionnaire was submitted. 16 companies filled out those questionnaires and provided information, and those information included many data such as company shareholding structure, production capacity, production types, investment plans, export-import business, raw material supply chain, products local content ratios, and their stance on domestic PV panel production. At the time of the report, Kalyon's investment facility was not completed. So after the report, the inauguration of Kalyon's 500 megawatt per year PV panel integrated manufacturing plant, including module, cell, wafer, and ingot processes in Ankara Başkent Organized Industrial Zone, was held. This happened on the 19th of August 2020. So we will include those afterwards to the data of report. So let's have a look at the development of PV panel manufacturing in Turkey, like a bit about the historical data. In 2011, SolarTürk became the first PV panel manufacturer in Turkey. So we may say that it started in 2011. And then in 2012, Gazioğlu Solar and Yes Energy companies followed. Alfa Solar, Ankara Solar, GTC, Ödül Enerji, and Schmidt Pekintaş are among the companies that started their activities in 2013. In terms of PV panel manufacturing plant locations in Turkey, 4 different PV panel manufacturers are located within the borders of Ankara, the capital city. Thus, Ankara is currently the province with the highest number of domestic PV panel manufacturing plants. Here on the left-hand side on the slide, you may see the distribution, geographical distribution of PV panel manufacturers in Turkey. So you may see that they are quite distributed within different cities, provinces. Except for these 4 companies, all other PV panel manufacturers are scattered in different provinces. Here I will provide you some information about sector players and regarding their annual production capacities. Antalya is the province of Turkey with the CV Energy Factory and Kocaeli with the Smart Solar Factory, both of which have annual production installed capacity of 1000 megawatts, are the provinces with the highest PV panel production installed capacity. They are followed by Istanbul with the HD Solar Factory with a PV panel annual production installed capacity of 800 megawatts. Actually, CV Energy, Smart Solar, and HD Solar are the companies which have the highest PV panel production installed capacities in Turkey, as you may see on the graph on the left-hand side of my slide. Regarding total annual manufacturing capacities, here on the left-hand side, you may see all the PV panel production installed capacities and self-production capacities of the sector players in Turkey. As per our report, on 16 players, the PV panel production installed capacity in the first half of 2020, it was around 6 gigawatt per year. with the addition of 500 megawatt per year Kalyon capacity and other players, newcomers to the market and capacity increases, current capacity is estimated as 8 gigawatt per year. And this is also as per the statement of Minister of Energy and Natural Resources of Turkey in May 2020. Of course, we have to emphasize that those are installed capacities without the consideration of capacity factors. Of course, capacity factors are confidential information, so we couldn't collect those information. The real capacities are expected to be less than the installed capacities based on the capacity factors. Cell production installed capacity is estimated as 1,130 megawatts per year. And with the inauguration of Kalyon's facility, we have 500 megawatt per year wafer and 500 megawatt per year ingot production in Turkey. Then let's have a look at the shareholder structures and the local content. Considering the shareholding structures of the 16 PV panel manufacturers, we see that 14 of them, quite a majority of them, they have 100% domestic shareholding structures. One company is a partnership of Turkish and international, and one company is 100% international. So we may say that the manufacturing market is highly dominated by the domestic players. When it comes to local content, material used in the PV panel production, the average panel local content ratio is 58.2% as per 2020 data. The Turkish government supports and encourages local production of PV panels and use of domestic panels with regulations. Then it comes to the exports. You may have a look at the chart, pie chart on the left-hand side. Although the market focus of PV panel manufacturers in Turkey is the domestic market, they've been improving their export growth rates and diversifying country-region portfolios in target foreign markets. The capacity exported abroad is equal to 26.3% of the overall capacity. We could say a quarter of the production is exported, which is not bad. The major export regions for PV panel manufacturers in Turkey are Middle East with 28.5%, followed by Europe with 19.6%, and North Africa with 15.7%. The companies who have exported the most in the last 5 years are HD Solar with 25%, followed by CV Energy with 30%, and Schmidt Pekintaş and Gas Energy with 25%. Let's talk a bit about the various technologies of PV. Here, as you may see on this table, majority of the players, they may provide different type of technology solutions to the end clients. Looking at the various technologies of PV panel produced by the companies in Turkey, production of PV panels with passivated emitter and rear cell PERC technology is common in every company. The first private R&D center officially registered with the Turkish Ministry of Industry and Technology was established in 2016 by GTC for glass panels. Reviewing the investment plans of PV panel manufacturers in Turkey, 12 of them are planning to invest in expanding their production line, which is also an important information because the Turkish solar market is developing, there is a potential, and parallel to the development of those solar power plant investments in the country, the PV panel manufacturing sector is developing as well. So that's my presentation. Thank you for listening to me, and if you have any further questions, you may always contact me from my email address, which you may see on my presentation. Thank you very much.